Hey Pisces, this is your October reading. My name is Dre. I'm using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck and no reversals. So we have the Ace of Swords, the World, Four of Cups, Ten of Swords, Temperance, Page of Wands, Two of Swords, Two of Wands, Eight of Pentacles. Outcome, we have Seven of Cups. An additional card is the Chariot. So it's all on you, Pisces. It's all on you about what you want to do, about how you want to feel. Because right now you're bored, you're dissatisfied, you want to be somewhere else. A lot of you probably have travel in your mind. I know I do. A lot of you are probably going to do some traveling. A lot of you are talking to people who live far away from you, and I feel like there's a sense that you want to really experience it all, really see it all. But there's a realistic way and there's like a less realistic way to sort of get to where you want to go. Obviously, looking at it this way, we see that there's going to have to be a lot of work and a lot of diligence on your behalf. Because I feel like some of you, when I look at the world, I think of unity. I think of perfection and imperfection. I think of bringing everything that we want in the world together into something that is beautiful and that we can love. So for some of you, that could be, wanting to start a family or wanting to travel to meet your family. And again, like if you celebrate Thanksgiving or whatever in the States, people's minds are geared towards that right now. Working to save up money. So some of you are working really hard. Some of you are starting something new, something different that there might be like some disillusionment about. I feel like for some of you, you kind of have to do things right now, not for your current pleasure, for your current joy, but just because the reality is you need to make money. But I also feel like for the reality, some of you need to get out of this poisonous mindset, like especially if you just broke up with somebody, or if you do want to start something new, something fresh, if you want to bring something to a close, I feel like it's going to be like such a beneficial ending, a beneficial chapter ending for a really tough period of your life right now. Because Jupiter and Scorpio, I've been talking about this in some of the other videos, it's influencing us. In Libra, it made us a little bit more social, more aware of other people, bringing other people, new people in. Jupiter and Scorpio is going to be more about getting deeper into creating what we bring into the world that we want, really merging with something. And I feel like for a lot of you, especially if you have like higher goals, higher ideas, where you want to go and what you want to do, I feel like anything is up for grabs. Anything that you wish to sort of create, you can. Because we do have the Seven of Cups. So the danger is to not get overwhelmed and to not fool yourself. Because in this process, it's all about, another reading also had Temperance and the Chariot together. I want to say it was Capricorn. But where it's like needing to refine aspects of our day-to-day life. In the same time, we're refining aspects of our internal life. And through that process, we will become better people, more freer from all of this betrayal and all this heartbreak and all of this pain. And I feel like right now, a lot of you are just numb to something, especially if you're in a current relationship where it's just like the person's just not doing it for you anymore, or there are aspects of them that you're not giving them a chance to fully express themselves, to show you who they actually are. For some of you, you've given them a lot of chances. For others, though, it's like you haven't given them enough. And so I feel like that is probably because you're still disillusioned. I feel like if you just broke up with somebody, if there's an ex involved and you're with somebody new, then that's the problem, where you're not really satisfied with everything they're giving you, not giving them enough chances. If it's the opposite, where it's just like you're with somebody that it's like terrible, and it's just like, but you've been with them forever. It's like at the same time they don't really do it for you anymore. It's just like, why am I even here? I want to see other people. I want to do other things. But the danger is recognizing what is putting you there in the first place, what's making you feel miserable, so you don't hop back into it again. A lot of this is about self-discovery, with pages and with aces. That's energy that, well, with aces, it's more like us needing to take that initiative, or something being offered and us going out and get it, which is more of what a 2 is. So that's what this 2 of Wands is. And pages are like little clues. It's like, it's like, if you think about the weather, the conditions are right for this to happen. So it's like, do we want to step into that and take advantage of that general energy, that general feeling? With the Page of Wands, it's more like seeking excitement in new things, taking chances, being a little risky, wanting to sort of not disrupt the status quo. But still doing it in a way where our lives are a little bit more interesting. There's a little bit more urgency to the things we do. And for some of you, it's like you probably got a new job that sort of it's exciting for you, or you found you're more in tune with your passion. And I feel like with Jupiter and Scorpio, that will help us become more attached to those things that make us more passionate. But Jupiter, being the planet of expansion, can also expand and magnify issues in our lives. And with it being in Scorpio, things, revolving around obsession, things revolving around sexuality, maybe disease, but Virgo kind of rules diseases. But at least more like things that we're uncomfortable with. That aspect of ourselves that where bitterness and resentment and envy, where all that resides. So if this is a period, I feel like if we're more envious, if we're more jealous, or more vindictive, all of that's going to come back on us twofold. Because Jupiter is, it's a benefic planet, but it's also, I see it as very karmic, where, if we have good, we do good, but if we have good and we choose to do ill things with it, to other people or to ourselves, we suffer. So it's important to at least try to give yourself a clean slate going into October, understanding that you have the capacity within you to see things from a different perspective. And if you don't, ask yourself, well, why is nothing giving me satisfaction? Why am I so bored? The 4 of Cups is kind of like a void. You're probably trying to fill a void, or you're probably seeking to fill a void, but it's just like everything around you, you're kind of apathetic to things. It's causing for you to probably think a little bit higher, think a little bit broader. Think about where you can go, not where you are. And where you are, it's like, well, how do I get to that? Putting in that work, or understanding the work you need to do in order to get a little bit closer to that, and that it is going to be a within and without process, that you have to change your environment, as well as you have to change along with it as well. Change old thought patterns, old behaviors, old ways of seeing things, old ways of interpreting things, and not being afraid to make a decision either way. Knowing what, having to be black and white sometimes in some situations, because Pisces, we are not black and white. We can be, depends on really where you have your Mercury. But like in terms of really voicing, just really being consistent, saying no, and understanding our limits and our boundaries, Pisces can struggle with that. Again, depending where your Pisces is and how much Pisces you have in your chart. So, I feel like now would be a good time to recognize what needs to be said, what needs to be let go, what needs to be left behind. Where, like, actually coming out of a period of being held captive, feeling like you can't do anything, that you have no options, that you have no opportunities. You do. It's just that you've allowed yourself to become, to succumb to what other people are saying, or to what other people are doing, or what other people are expecting of you, or what you feel like tradition is making you do. Unless somebody's literally holding a gun up to your head, I don't feel like that there's anything they can do to stop you from doing what you want to do. And if they are, you need to get out of that situation immediately. But find what works for you in the moment, Pisces, so it'll help you see things in a broader perspective. Just ride the wave. And I feel like your intuition will take you where you need to go. All right, thank you so much. I will see you guys Scorpio season.